I'm going to be open and honest with you. This is not going to be my typical video because I'm really struggling to do a story here. I've been doing a lot of research lately, doing Stellar video. That's what this is going to be, a Stellar ecosystem video. But like in the meantime, I've been doing a lot of research lately, and I'm just coming across so many bad actors in this space. And it's not just bad actors like your Do Kwons, your Mashinskis, your Sam Bankman-Fried, stuff like that, but everything from like journalism that's been paid for to overly publicized articles, to misleading information, bad actors out there spreading horrible dates and whatnot. Like all of this stuff is just so detrimental to crypto. But this video, what I want to focus on is I want to focus on the building, the growth, the ecosystem, specifically of Stellar. But the problem is like, as I do these stories, I keep running into more stories of bad actors. And yes, I'm super bullish on, XLM, XRP, crypto Web3 in general I am. I'm not bullish on like the speculation and all the degen gambling stuff, which I totally get. Like, I mean, hey, if you want to degen gamble, I get it. But I guess what bothers me is like the frequency of the bad is just so big compared to like how small the good is. So this video, like I said, it's not typical. I just kind of wanted to speak more from me to you. This video is going to be me focusing on the good that we should shed more light on. But the problem is, statistically speaking, there's just so much bad out there that it gets really tough. So let's do some cool Stellar ecosystem talk. All right, so we'll start it off with the heat map. All right, so honestly, the heat map is something I want to keep in the videos. Why? Because it's a really good representation and a strong tool of what's going on, and a great visual. I mean, look at it. Right now, you can see the deepest of red are the worst ones. BNB, we obviously know why. They're in deep trouble, right? So they've got O'Leary, who's lying about how, FTX was taken down by Binance. You've got their audit company that just walked out on Binance. So there's some obvious reasons to be shaky there. So the heat maps, I think, are a very valuable tool, but the heat maps just like beat you down when like, dude, that's all you've done, right? And that's all you've seen. And a lot of us out there, we're big into like the building and development of Web3. We're big into exposing the scams and schemes and stuff because like we really believe in like use case development. And I want to share a few stories with you. And again, just keep the tone a little bit more chill. We're going to be live streaming tonight too, where I'm going to be real frank, candid, and kind of pump the brakes too. So let's get into a couple stories, how I feel about it, and let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Only 2% of cryptocurrencies have healthy liquidity, finds a study. Now, they're determining liquidity here is trading volume. Is there enough volume going on to make it possible, right? And think about this, right? If there's no one who's willing to sell, then who the heck's going to buy, right? And vice versa. If there's no one really willing to buy something right now because it's so beaten down or not used, there's not going to be anyone to sell it, right? I mean, it's like I said, you have to kind of meet, the two ends. Business, no matter what, crypto, any other industry you got out there, it's always going to work on supply and demand. All right, and you're seeing it right here. The reason why some of these things have low liquidity, there's just no demand for it. We know supply is abundant, right? I mean, we've all minted billions and billions and billions of tokens out there. So it's not that we have like a shortage of tokens to invest in. And in fact, like the last story I did, the latest count was 22,034 cryptos. I'm sure the number's gone up by now, but it's a lot of them out there, right? So there's definitely a shortage of the demand of this stuff. And that's what they're saying, is only 2% of cryptocurrencies have healthy liquidity. Now, this is going to tie into Stellar ecosystem because I want you to think of the ecosystem of the majority of the cryptos out there. Even meme coins, right? Switch meme out with like advertising. Right? Like, as like name brand logo, stuff like that. Okay. So that's like a use case, but it's not use case in terms of what we're thinking of, like moving money or, humanitarian aid, stuff like that. Okay. So again, ecosystem report, Colorado residents made only 6 tax payments with crypto out of 1.37 million people in 3 months. That's someone who developed a product thinking there would be a use case for it. There's obviously not a use case. 6 transactions represent 0.00043% of the total 1.37 million tax payments carried out in that 3-month time. So again, right, ecosystem use case. Whoever built this did not do research on who the right customer was, because obviously there wasn't enough of the customers, right? That was the problem here. They didn't match their market with their product. I've always been a big proponent of building backwards from the customer, right? What are our customers' wants? What are our customer needs? What are the market's wants and needs? If there's a market want need, you could build a product backwards from that. That makes tons of sense. You can do it financially responsibly too. So now we get into the UN. Yeah, the UN to deploy Stellar blockchain to transfer crypto and financial aid for Ukrainians. So now we've got Stellar blockchain using USDC, Vibrant Wallets, and Circle, right? You guys know the whole crew, and Moneygram, I know, right? So they build these products for a use case of people. The people right here is, I mean, how many displaced people are in Ukraine that are going to need access to cash as they temporarily live in other cities while the war is going on? This use case here is in the hundreds, if not millions of people. I was going to say hundreds of thousands, not just hundreds. Let me wet my whistle a little bit here and we'll keep the vibe going. But with Stellar, there's a use case. Now, Stellar did a program with MoneyGram a while ago, right? And a lot of people were like really poo-pooed about that. Now remember, it was only free for, I believe it was like the first year, and then there's going to be some fees, and we know about taxing that ass, right? Everyone has to get a piece. So the idea there too is they have a product that actually has a whole bunch of need, a whole bunch of use case. That's why programs like this are possible, because they're using the MoneyGram locations. I don't know how many of you caught the video I did. There were 8,400 different MoneyGram locations in the Ukraine. Holy crap. See, that's what I'm saying. There's tons of rails there. Ecosystem, development, use case, being profitable with your products. Now, obviously, Stellar wasn't going to be profitable with their products because, I mean, you know, for the first year, if they're like, hey, we're not going to be, you know, paying any fees, I mean, someone's got to get some juice out of it, right? We're not doing this for free. There's a big difference between a nonprofit and someone who's doing stuff for free. Nonprofits still make money. They have to make money to keep the lights on. That's how a nonprofit works, all right? So, use case, product development, and so forth. So that brings me back to the first two stories, right? Only 2% of cryptocurrencies have a healthy liquidity. Their ecosystems probably suck, right? They don't have a use case. The ecosystem with Stellar is big in USDC, big with Circle, Bitso, MoneyGram, Vibrant. I mean, there's just so many partners within that ecosystem. You know, and what are you going to need right now to survive this? You're going to need cash. You're going to need to be good with your expenses, and you're going to need to have friends that are going to be there to bail you out when you need it. That's the point of these ecosystems. The stronger they build these ecosystems with use case, the more you get. So like on this, with only 2% of cryptocurrencies having healthy liquidity, are we starting to see most of these coins squeezed into non-existence? It's kind of what we all wanted, isn't it? For all the fakes, the scams and schemes, the fakers out there faking the funk, right? Just leave. Just leave. Don't trade their stuff. Don't buy into it, you know? Spread the news when we bust scams out there. If someone's offering high yield, scam. It's so easy to rubber stamp that. Average rates right now for banks, 3.5%. Crypto can't be any different. Otherwise, banks would have done it. If banks could give away 7, 8%, they would. They would have a business model, a mechanism to do it. They don't have that. Average rate for banks before the Fed just jacked it up was 3.5. And that was the best. That was the best on the average. Like of the average spectrum, that was the high end. That was the best of the averages right there. I think the highest I saw was like 3.8. So you got players in crypto offering 20, 40, 50. Oh my God, Justin Sun, you scammer, you need to get out of here too. 50% on USDT's tether staking. Oh my God. What's your magic? What's your magic that you're using? Ponzi. So when it comes to ecosystem, bad players and all that, that's why this has just been a really tough video to make, because as I do these stories, like I could show you, right? 6 people in Colorado only paid their taxes. There's a lot of bad actors. Some of the bad actors are simply bad business people that just don't understand supply and demand. They build a product because they think it works for them. No, you don't build it for you. You build it for your customer. Millions, hundreds of millions of people around the globe move money. That's why Stellar and MoneyGram is so big, and it is always going to be so big. That's why the UN was able to deploy this program, because they're using money. MoneyGram is all over the place. This program here with Ukraine, you could replicate it anywhere. Anywhere there's a MoneyGram location, you just get the government to sign off on those rails being legit. Done. Bob's your uncle. That's use case. That's a lot of people that need it. Press release, by the way, is right here. As always, any article you see in this video will be linked in the description below. Got the press release if you want to read the whole thing. It's pretty good stuff, everyone, but use case, ecosystem. Bad red heat map. Whew. I know, right? I know. That's why you got to focus on the stuff that matters. Get through the bad stories, learn about them, be educated, learn about growth and development. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to end screen and screen. Why? Because I thought the vibe was pretty chill. See y'all later.